Hello and welcome to In Good Company, where each week we talk to good people doing great things and celebrate the beauty of connection by word of mouth. I'm your host, Davinia Roberts, and today I'm sitting down with Edwin Reyes, a New York City-based fashion designer intentionally building a fashion legacy that puts Puerto Rican culture on the map one collection at a time. He was passed the mic by Dylan Golden, the chef at Chino Grande. Today, Edwin and I talk about designing from heritage, the slow, deliberate build, and the inspiration for his most recent collection. At the end of each episode, our guests will pass the mic to someone in their circle, welcoming you into this growing web of friends of friends. Thanks for joining us. If you're here, you're in good company. I'm super excited to just have a conversation with you today. Yay. So can you tell me how you know Dylan? How did you meet Dylan?
So we met via Instagram.
Oh, love when social media works.
Yeah, like how all social media connects, friendships happen.
Yeah.
And so we met through there, and he was currently he's still doing his Puerto Rico project.
Yes.
Like highlighting different creatives in New York. And so from there on, he recorded here as well.
Oh, cool.
For his series. And so, through Instagram.
Amazing. Yeah. And you guys have just stuck it out as being friends, both Puerto Rican. Yes. And so, there's that beautiful connection too. So
yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So fashion design, you can see we're surrounded by the inspiration and some of Edwin's pieces. I know that you just recently did an event at Chino Grande. It looked really beautiful.
Yeah. And so one thing led to another after we shot everything. Because I was telling him like, hey, I'm looking for a spot to do some sort of dinner. So he was like, oh, do it at Chino. I was like, okay. I'm like, don't need to tell me twice. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And so the dinner was sponsored by Buchanan's whiskey. So that was drink responsibly. So it was sponsored by them, and I did press dinner / trunk show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So did you do signature like Edwin Reyes cocktails or anything like that? Okay, what was the cocktail?
We had the ER seal. It was kind of like a guava flavored drink.
Yeah.
And then we had the Bucanitas, and it's Buchanan's like signature, like pineapple and like whiskey.
Beautiful.
Drink. Yeah.
And so you said that you had press that was at the dinner too.
Yes.
Was it to promote something specific or?
Yeah, so it was to promote myself as a brand and also present the Sankofa collection that I released recently.
So what is Sankofa, and tell us about the collection?
So Sankofa to me, before I start with Sankofa, when creating this new collection, I wanted to really dive deeper into the Puerto Rican culture, my Puerto Rican culture. What were my first memories of going to Puerto Rico? And so when I asked myself that question, I automatically thought about the gates that you see all throughout the island and the casitas. And those gates, those iron grills are called rejas in Spanish. And so I asked myself, why are they here? Who made them? Who created them? And it comes from Sankofa, which derives from the Incan languages of Ghana. So it goes really, really, really deep.
Isn't it incredible? Like some of these things that we just walk past on a daily basis, they have this layered meaning. I feel like we're so distracted by so many things, but if you do stop and you just are curious a little bit, like you can find out some really interesting and kind of transformative information,
Yeah, and a lot of Puerto Ricans who are from the island don't really know what those gates really are. You're just like born into the seeing those gates every day.
Yeah. And so when you're talking about the gates, these are just like around homes, around garden, the ornate style.
They're usually meant for protection, circulation with the breeze of the ocean, the wind, to like, allow wind to go into the houses, but also adding protection as well.
Yeah, I love that. So that was the inspiration for the latest collection. Nice.
Yeah.
And so how was it? Like, set the stage. What was it like at Chino Grande?
So for me, having this partnership with Buchanan's was really huge for me.
Congratulations,
Thank
by the
you.
way. First partnership or?
Yeah. Like with a big brand.
Yes.
Yeah. With a big
First
brand.
of many. Okay.
Yeah. And so I really wanted to show a snippet of the ER world from food, fashion, experience, and just everything in between.
Yeah.
And so with the dinner, I wanted to present the collection together while guests eat as well. So every time a course hit the table, a set of models came out in the pieces.
Beautiful.
And so I actually hired a live drummer, bonga drummer.
Wow.
And so I told the guests before we started the night, hey, when you hear the sounds of the coqui and the sounds of the drums, that means a portion of the show is going to start. And so it was a really cool, immersive experience.
Yes.
And it was really cool to see people like in mid conversation and then like stop and like look.
Yes.
Like it was like on the dot. Like
that's
boom, boom,
so
boom. Yeah.
cool. Is this the first time that you've done something like this, an immersive experience for a collection of yours?
Yeah, like in this way, yeah. I've done shows in the past,
Sure,
but I really wanted to add a little bit of everything together. Like,
so did you and Dylan collaborate on the menu, or were these items that are on the menu at Chino Grande and he kind of like paired them with some of the fashions?
Yeah, we collaborated on some of the like dishes that they have. I really wanted to keep it super traditional. You know, you have some like rice and beans, some chicken, a nice like bacalao salad that he made, like a Caesar salad. It was so good. And so I really wanted to keep it like traditional, like Puerto Rican, because Chino Grande, you know, it's a Chino Boricua, like cross-cultural restaurant. And so I wanted to like keep it simple, but like show the Puerto Rican side.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else coming up in that, or do you have something brewing on the next sort of experiential event? You don't have to share what it is, but I'm just curious if you have something.
So right now, post dinner and trunk show, I'm really focusing on a lot of press and like where I can like land the story.
Curious about where you started in fashion.
Yeah.
Did you study fashion? Did you go to design school, or?
I say I am self-taught.
Okay.
But I ended up going to school for it afterwards.
Okay. Explain that.
Did it really help? No. Not really. They don't teach you about COIs and insurance and all that good stuff they sing.
Yeah. You're like, what's a net 30 or a net 90?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. So you started self-taught, and was this just an interest? Was anyone else a seamstress or someone that was in fashion, your family?
So surprisingly, my family's a very creative family, and sometimes with life, you know, you just have kids and then stop a little bit. So
priorities change.
So I think I'm really the main person, I should say, in my family that is really pursuing my passion.
I love that.
And trying to make it work.
Your creativity.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your first sewing machine? How did you get it? The very memory of like when I got my first sewing machine. It was like $99 from Walmart. A brother's, I still have it. It like still, I mean, it's a good machine. I think my mom got it at Walmart or something.
My mom got me my first machine in Walmart. So I actually I went to high school for art here in the Bronx. And so I started, you know, painting and being like super creative in that world. And I thought I wanted to pursue like art as a career. But I had a friend who invited me to like the after school like fashion program. Like, hey, I don't like come, like let's go. I'm like, girl, I don't want to go. So I went. And I've always been the type of person that like I love like creating and like with my hands. And so I fell in love with the process of putting things together. And from there on, it like grew to other things and like, you know, whole like ER world now. So I always say this like in my little like story, like this like older lady in my church gave me her sewing machine for like 6 months or something like that. And she was like, oh, like I have a sewing machine, like if you want to borrow it or whatever.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And so like with those 6 months, I like learned like everything.
Yeah.
Like YouTube University. Like YouTube taught me everything.
Do you remember the first thing that you made?
I made a shirt, a t-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like a little t-shirt and like a little pocket. It was like a tie-dye shirt with like pocket. And it was like, oh my God, I made that.
There's something like very satisfying when somebody asks you about something. You're like, oh yeah, I made it. I made that. I made that, you know? Yeah. I think the process of an idea coming into formation is just, it's such a magical thing. Like, what is your favorite part of the process in being a fashion designer? Because there's so many different stages of it. So which part is your favorite?
I think there's like so many different.
I know. So it could be like inspiration. It could be like sketching, pattern making.
I think I have like phases where it's like certain things are like my favorite. But I think to top it all, I think it would be just like sewing on the sewing machine. Just putting it together. That's like that's my thing.
Yeah,
I'll like lock in and like be sewing there for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. So like great. Easy.
Yeah. So did you work in the fashion industry?
You know, somewhat. I had a couple of internships.
Okay.
And they were fun. But I think during my time of doing internships, it was still very like weird in the fashion industry. I think all of the size inclusivity and like, you know, like people of color and like, you know, it was still very like whitewashed back then. And so it was very like hard for me to outreach and see who I can like work with or intern at.
Right. What would be a good fit for you that you could learn about the kind of things that maybe you would want to make. Will you describe what the Edwin Reyes world is? I've heard you mention that like a couple of times. So what is that world? Who lives in that world?
So the ER world or the ER brand.
The ER world.
So I focus on 3 pillars.
Okay.
Sustainability, culture, and heritage. Okay. And so the ER world or the ER woman first, she really values those 3 pillars, you know, sustainability, heritage, and culture, you know, honoring my Puerto Rican side, but also keeping it very contemporary. She loves to travel. She loves to just be her, be free, be confident, wearing my clothing. And so when she enters the ER world, she can just do whatever she wants. Go out, go to a gallery show, go to a museum, go to a nice, beautiful dinner, like with their loved one or their friends. Be free, dance the night away. So,
I love that. How did you organize yourself to get those 3 pillars to be what the ER world sort of?
When I first started just buying fabric and, you know, learning how to source fabric correctly, I started buying fabric at these smaller fabric stores. And a lot of people don't know that those fabric stores actually buy fabric from bigger companies. And most of those fabrics are all dead stock material. And so that's when I first started learning about sustainability, what areas I can align myself to in the sustainable world. And because there's a whole bunch, it's like, you know, fish leather, coconut leather, it's everything.
Yeah, there's so much innovation in fabrics
a lot of
too.
innovation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think with me, I wanted to start off with creating collections made out of dead stock fabric. And so that really is what the whole sustainability pillar is. And then now with this recent collection, my heritage pillar, I wanted to include more sequin work, hand embroidery,
Beautiful.
screen printing. And so I used a ton of artisans. I call them like my artisans here in the
Yes.
Bronx, my screen printers, my people who do embroidery for me.
Love
So
that.
they're my version of a artisan.
Mm-hmm.
And then culture,
Yeah.
my Puerto Rican culture, being from New York as well, because I
Yes.
think being a New Yorker is a whole culture.
It totally is.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
it is.
So
Yes,
it's like
it
I
is.
have a couple of
Yeah.
cultures actually.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You're
so
lucky in that
those are
way.
3 different pillars. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I used to live here, I had a little clothing line for a while, but I love the fashion district and I had like very specific fabric stores that I would go to.
Yeah, you
You
have like
build
your people.
you build that
Yeah.
relationship with them. And it's so true. It's the dead stock material that you find in there. I hate to say it this way because it just sounds like they'll make it like they used to,
Right.
but it's really true.
Yeah.
Some of these materials are, it's like the weight of them, and like the techniques that they use on them, you don't really see that in, of course, not fast fashion,
Yeah.
but like even sort of newer contemporary pieces. So
Yeah,
it's
and
cool.
I think sometimes you just like find gold, like, when
Yes.
you're fabric sourcing in those
Yes.
stores, you're like, what? Like, give me like 30 or 40 yards of that,
Yes,
please.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
That
I'll
would be
take the
me.
whole
I'd be like,
thing.
I'll take it. Dig in the back.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else? Like, who else has it?
Because like you come back
So
the following
great.
week, it's gone.
Exactly.
It's gone.
Don't take a swatch and then think you're gonna come back
Yeah.
a day later, a week later,
Yeah.
and it'll be there. You might as well trust your gut and just
Mhm.
get it,
Yeah.
What is the thing that you enjoy the most about your job and fashion design? Because do you have a full-time job too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But tell me about what your most favorite thing is
Yeah.
in the fashion design world.
So for me, my favorite part is just making people feel happy and like confident.
Mm-hmm.
That's the origin of creating this whole brand.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to someone about it the other day too,
Mhm.
and my dad was in the military, and so he always left or was always gone, working
Mhm.
in a different state, and so my
What
mom,
branch?
he did everything
Okay.
except Marines.
Oh, okay. My dad
Yeah.
was in the Navy. That's what I was asking.
And so my mom was like raising 3 kids. And so I seen up and downs from that. Well, I took those like emotions and that experience and brought it to the brand to help women feel like beautiful, confident, sexy. And so that was really the origin and,
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah.
for that.
I love that. Your mom must be so proud of you.
Yeah.
So pleased that
Yeah.
there's like that.
She's my biggest critic. She's
Oh.
like, she's like, you should not do that.
She's like, I don't know. But they are really the ones that could actually say it and will make you think, like, is that right? Like, is that really the thing that I want to do for
Right.
sure? So you've been doing this for how long now?
For about 8 years.
Oh, wow.
now.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize.
I started very young.
Okay. When did you, I mean, you don't have to tell me your age, but what was the first collection that you did or first design?
So my first like collection,
Yeah.
it was like so amateur, but like
Yeah.
my first collection was actually at a restaurant.
Okay. Full
And
circle.
I know it's always at a restaurant, which like I love.
Yeah.
It's so easy, budget friendly, number one.
People like to eat and drink also.
Yeah, exactly. And it was actually here in the Bronx at an old restaurant called Mount Haven Bar and Grill. Shout out to them. And yeah, and so I did the show in their back room, and it was a really cool show.
Yeah.
It was
What
fun.
was the collection like? Was it dresses? Was it
A
just
whole bunch of
casual?
dresses, yeah.
Okay, so do
Yeah.
you consider yourself a dress designer?
I'm more of a
Proudly.
dressmaker. I make a pant here and there. Like
Yeah.
this collection, I did a nice capri pleated pant,
The capris
which
are
was like
back.
which was very easy to wear.
Mhm.
And so I had a couple pants in there.
So I can imagine from the time that you did that first collection to
Yeah.
now, you've gone through a spectrum of ups and downs and
Yeah.
sideways and like success and maybe not success. What was, to this date, like what was the most energizing, most exciting experience that you've had with your collection?
I mean, The Chino Grande one was like, it was
Oh,
like perfect.
you're at your top right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
That's
it was
so
like
great.
perfect.
That's so
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it was like perfect.
What was one that was like hardest like season for you when you were working on your collection?
I would say my 2023 show,
Okay.
called La Fe,
Mm. What does
and
La Femme mean?
the faith,
Mm.
or like faith.
Mhm.
And so that particular collection was about, and this little bit of background information on
Mhm.
that collection. It was just like post like pandemic, or like when did the pandemic ever end? I don't know, but
Are
like
we?
I
Yeah.
I considered it like
Yes.
2023 it ended
Yes.
for me, and so that collection was about my travels to Cartagena, Colombia, and
Mhm.
Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
And so when I went to Cartagena, it's a mini, or like a second version of like Puerto Rico, San Juan.
Mm.
And so with all of the colonial buildings and the
Right.
architecture is very similar.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to connect both cities together
Mm.
and create a collection on that. And also
Mm.
like traveling gave me the faith to continue designing. So
Mm.
that was like the whole connection with
Yeah.
that.
And so why was that a challenging time for you? Was it just because of the pandemic, or was there other things
I think
as
it's
well?
the pandemic and this trying to be creative. What am I doing? What are the
Mm.
goals?
Mhm.
And how is this going to be successful?
Okay, we have to show some love to the folks that make this show possible. Today's episode is brought to you by Studio Bonded, the design studio that builds brands that bond with the senses. If you're into thoughtful design made by talented people who really care, then you're in good company. Check them out at studiobonded.com. We're back. Let's rejoin the conversation with our guests. Mm-hmm.
And so from there on, I really told myself, okay, we're going to do this little by little.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to like do a whole bunch at once, because that's where people fail.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
It's
I love the
okay to go
excitement.
slow.
Yeah. Very, very okay. It's okay to go slow.
Mm-hmm.
Little by little wins the race.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Let's be the tortoise in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's hard, especially when you're creative and you have a lot of ideas. Like, you do feel, in the world that we live in, it does feel like you want this instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have to maybe call on some folks to remind you to like just take it easy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I actually renamed my brand as my namesake brand.
Amazing. Having it be your namesake is really great.
Yeah.
You know, then people know actually who it is.
Exactly.
You've talked about travel a ton. And do you find that is your what is your main source of inspiration for your collections?
Oh yeah, travel.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes, at first I used to get a little insecure on like, the typical designer usually has a whole bunch of like references on their mood board or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
With me, I'm like, I just like to go travel and like feel the experience. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll document some things, but like I just keep it very minimal.
Yeah.
Because like once you start documenting a whole bunch of things, and your mind is like all over the place. For me personally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hard to keep the focus on like what the intention. Mm-hmm. For people that maybe can't travel, like, what's your recommendation for them? Because I'm sure a lot of people want to have that experience. Like, do you have any recommendations for folks that like physically can't get on a plane and do it?
I think watch vlogs on YouTube. I used to watch so many vlogs on YouTube. Like, people make really good vlogs nowadays.
Everything is pretty accessible right now, even if you can't submerge yourself in the actual place itself.
Especially to like TikTok is cool, but like it's like just feeds into your ADHD, and then you just like start scrolling a ton.
Can you save things on TikTok? I'm not really on it. I'm a lurker on TikTok, but I don't post anything.
I try.
Yeah. But there's also a thing called a book. You could go to the library. Look some historical references.
Love a library.
Yeah.
Love a library.
Yeah.
Archive.
Yeah. Do you think there's any like misconceptions that you have either debunked yourself, or are there any misconceptions in the fashion industry that once you got in, oh, this is what the real deal is?
I think just cold emailing people. I feel like
people should.
I cold email like a lot of people all the time.
Really?
All the time. There was this one particular editor at fashionista.com, and she recently interviewed me for Vogue about the skirt being presented at the Bad Bunny residency last year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and so the flag,
yes.
Okay. So it was
Okay.
worn by Chewy, and well, her name is Lorraine, and she sings with the band Chewy, and they have a collaboration song with Bad Bunny, and amazing. And
you're like saying it so refined, and I'm like, that's very exciting.
Yeah. And so I would always email her anytime I had like a little project or a little lookbook. Hey, like look at my lookbook. Da, da, da. I'll do that to a couple people. And so when the Bad Bunny thing came out, I automatically emailed her, hey, this just happened. Here's some information on the skirt. And she told me she wasn't really covering anything with the concert, but like a week and a half later, she was like, hey, I'm actually doing an article with Vogue. Can I interview you? I'm like, yeah. And this is like a top like editor like in the fashion industry, like at every Paris Fashion Week show, every New York Fashion Week show, like everything.
Amazing.
And so for me to be like interviewed by her, that was like such an honor. I was so sick, but like it was such an honor. Yeah. And so cold
email people. Yeah, I do think,
because sometimes people think that they're not going to respond, but it's a person on the other
exactly
side. Yeah.
Don't forget, these are still humans.
Yeah, it's not like AI yet.
It's still humans that are on the other side.
Yeah.
Any other misconceptions or things that you would encourage designers to do?
Ask your friends to like collaborate and like work together. If you have a really good project, pitch it to them properly. Hey, like I'm gonna do this. I think this can happen. Like let's work together, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because other people are also building as well.
Yes.
So I think it's even better for everyone to build together.
That's my word of the year. For every new year, I just try to pick one word that I can just focus on, and my word is build. And I think that it's...
Mine was go.
Yeah. Build and go. Build and go. Here we go. Yeah. I love it. And you're so right about just opening yourself up to the trusted community that you have.
Yeah. Building that community is number one. And it's like, okay, I know a lot of people say build your community, but like I think build your community in a strategic way where you all can rise up together.
Absolutely. It feels very connected to why I'm trying to do this podcast too, right? You are the company that you keep. That's a saying that my mom used to say all the time. And so I kind of like look at this web of connection and these line of friends, right? I interviewed Dylan. Dylan passes the mic to you. You pass the mic to Tess, and you look at what everyone is doing in their own individual area.
Right.
And it seems like even with the three of you guys, that's like a little power trio. Even if Tess and Dylan aren't connected, there's like something that could be really beautiful there, right? With her journalistic skills, your fashion,
and she helped me out too with bringing a couple editors to the dinner. So I was so grateful for that.
Yes. So be bold, my friends. Be bold.
Yeah, be bold. Also, words of Kris Jenner. If you get a no, then that means you're like talking to the wrong person. That's like my mindset.
I like that.
If I'm getting a no, then I'm like, okay, bye. Might go talk to your boss then or something, or find your boss.
Yes, I like that. I really do. I've had to remind myself of that too. Well, that wasn't actually meant for me, or that wasn't the right person to engage at this time. Everyone is always in flux, so
Right.
there might be another time around, like the journalist, that they
Right.
come back and it is a yes. So very
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Do you have any peer designers that we should know about or that are inspiring right now?
Yeah, so I would call her my mentor, Nia Thomas.
Okay.
And so she is based in Mexico City. She does a lot of knitwear, resort, daytime, beachy type of looks.
Beautiful.
And all of her materials like sourced from Peru, Mexico.
Wow.
And she's American. She's a Black designer, so she lives in Mexico City, which is like super dope, and which is like my goal as well. And I love all her work. It's
And how
amazing.
did y'all meet?
So we met through another friend of mine,
Nice.
Daniel.
Oh,
and so
nice.
I met her through him.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look up their stuff. I am really interested in hearing about like what's next for you. So I know that you just did this show at Chino Grande.
Yes.
What are you working on next in the ER world?
So right now I'm focusing on the rollout and post the trunk show and dinner. And so I'm going to be releasing the collection for people to actually purchase in the next week or so. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I am going to be doing another outfit for the Puerto Rican parade. And so last year I decided this is like a little passion project, long-term project that I'm doing. And so every year I'm going to create an outfit in dedication to the Puerto Rican parade. Beautiful. It won't march in the parade. I'm going to do more of an editorial like photo shoot like how I did last year with the skirt, and just post it on the day of the parade. And so this year I'll be working with a really huge influencer. Wow. This is like really amazing.
Okay, when is the Puerto Rican Day Parade? I remember when I lived here.
Second Sunday in June.
Okay, that's what I thought. I remember it was like always
the 9th, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was like early summer or something. Okay, fascinating. Well, I can't wait.
And so that is my little passion project, because when going on the Costume Institute's database at the Met, they don't have Puerto Rican designers at all. They have everything else except Puerto Rican designer. And so my vision is like 20 years from now, every year I'll have an outfit created, and so I'll create that archive of Puerto Rican inspired dresses that can be in a museum show or something.
I love
that's like my long-term goal.
Honestly, talk about the long game, talk about just like taking it slow. This is like an annual build. This is something that you can develop over time.
Exactly.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that to look forward to. Where is your collection going to be available for sale?
Online.
Okay. On your website?
On my website, yeah.
Okay, what's your website?
It's www.edwinreyesnyc.com.
Okay, so it'll be for sale there. Are you planning to have it in any retailers or any showrooms, anything like that?
Hopefully. I am reaching out to some stores here in New York and possibly maybe in Puerto Rico too.
Ooh.
And I'm working on, creating that connection with other boutiques. That's definitely a goal of mine as well.
That's fantastic.
So,
I can't wait till you put like the little scarf that's on the mannequin back there. Those are so cute.
Yes.
Like I just think that that's like it's almost like a throwback flair. Like everyone was wearing like scarves. It was functional, but it's just a nice little
and that
flourish.
Is like my little brand accessory.
Yes.
Usually everyone has like a little bag or like a wallet.
Yes.
I'm trying to do like a scarf because I think it's more chic.
Yeah, exactly. It's so great.
And it allows space for other people to like create bags. Being conscious.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, so there is something that I ask in the pre-interview questionnaire. I ask the question, what is a question that you wish you were asked more often? And so I'm going to ask your question, how is my mental health? So Edwin, how is your mental health?
My mental health right now is, should I like rate it 1 to 10?
You can, on a scale.
Well, after the show, I've been doing better now.
Yeah, good.
So it's
Good.
gone up a couple of points.
Yes.
I think I'm at like a 7-8.
That's great.
Yeah, 7-8. I've always been aware of my mental health and just having little check-ins with myself. And also I'm a Capricorn, so it's like we break down everything.
Okay,
like
I don't know much about Capricorns.
We break everything down.
Yeah, that's so good though. And so if your mental health wasn't feeling very strong, what do you do in order to get back in a good space so you can keep going with your designs?
For me, I just go to sleep. People don't realize that like we need sleep. And a lot of people don't really sleep a lot. And so when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling tired, when I'm just not feeling myself, sleep or going to the gym. For me, going to the gym has been very helpful. I started doing CrossFit like a year ago. So I'm a little CrossFit dude.
CrossFit dude.
CrossFit dude.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Can you do a pull-up? Because I'm trying to be able to do a pull-up. I used to be able to do so many pull-ups, and now I can't. You will, though.
I can't.
You will, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's what CrossFit does for you out of nowhere. You're just doing one-handed pull-ups. But like exercising does also help you sleep because you're burning out energy and then you sleep better at night.
So those are like my go-to, recovery, not feeling myself.
Yeah, I love that. It's a good tip. Yeah. Work out with a friend, people.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of each podcast episode, I ask 3 questions. And so I'm going to ask Edwin now. The first question is, who are you and what do you do? You can tell the people.
So my name is Edwin Reyes and I am a fashion designer based here in New York.
Edwin, what do you need?
As a brand and a creative here in New York and an emerging designer, I need more support on socials, getting my name and the brand out there more, and more visibility of what I'm creating, the ER world.
Like, do you need PR support?
So PR support and also creating more connections with other bigger brands to support projects like my press dinner that I just did or future potential shows.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So lean in, people. Anyone that has PR experience, anyone that has a brand that they think would be a cool fit to do an experiential event with Edwin, let's go direct, be bold. And so the last question is, Edwin, what do you have to offer?
So being a designer and being a creative, what I have to offer is joining the team if you want to intern or if you want to learn more on how to be a designer or other areas in the fashion world, because there's a whole bunch. I'm here to extend my expertise and my knowledge that I have.
Thank you so much. Yeah. This was really fun, and I'm wishing you all the best. Just keep going. That's your word. Go.
Go.
Yeah.
Go,
okay.
go, go.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of In Good Company, a podcast where we celebrate the beauty of connection and the magic of word of mouth. In Good Company is brought to life by my pod squad. That's Danielle Dweck, copy and creative consultant, Fukiko Machado, financial operations, Alex Perez, design lead from Studio Bonded, Kyle Murdoch, mix and sound design, and me, the creator and host, Davinia Roberts. The views shared by our guests are their own and are offered as inspiration and information only. To stay connected, follow and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and maybe share this episode with someone you love. It helps more good people find us. For full episodes and behind-the-scenes moments, find us on YouTube and Instagram at ingoodcompany.thepod or visit ingoodcompanythepod.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and remember, if you're here, you're in good company.